So when you lead into this, because the most superficial part is trapezius, you're going to need to work these shoulder muscles here. So I would spend some time right off to the side and just, you can do a double hand squeeze. So I'm just like hamburger grab. You can do single and just hold. So just like when we learned to treat the traps, we're like unrolling those face down. You can start them face down and soften it up this way if you want. I'm just face up.
How would you do the muscle test on them facing?
You could kind of push your head into the table, and I can feel it up that way. So the table is providing resistance, and my fingers are just under, tracing up. If you didn't want to do the face down, flip-flop back and forth. For your palp, either or is fine, however you want to do it. If you do a face down, do the muscle test, then you can lead in with traps this way, and then flip. Play around, see what works best for you, what makes you most comfortable. Watch your wrist, you don't want to sit like this. But you guys know that part. So really spend time doing this. If Rizwan was my client, I would spend, just feeling his traps right now, at least 10 minutes just softening this. And to give your hands a break in between after you do each side, you can do little compressions, little circles here. I wouldn't do this on everybody, and his clavicle is here. So this, not to sound crass, this is all meat. It's all muscle. So completely fine. Could not do that on me. You would just dig right into my clavicles. Kind of depends on your person. From there, we would go all the way up, just slowly dragging. Since there is no hair for me to pull, I'm going to do a scalp massage. My fingers, and I'll show you guys on the side, are back here on these suboccipitals as well. Mastoid process is here. Do not apply pressure, so you can feel the mastoid process. You're going to go into a little divot here. Do not apply any pressure here. It's very uncomfortable. There's a styloid process that dangles like a stalagmite, the dangly one from the roof. It dangles down, and you can apply pressure here, and it can actually break off. So we don't want that. You're my new friend. You're my new friend. You're my new friend. So, scalp massage. Hi, buddy. Don't press in here behind the ear. You can palpate on your partner and locate that just fine. Like, you feel okay with me just poking here, right? But if I press, that's not super fun, is it? And that wasn't a lot of pressure.
But if he had hair, this is where you do some hair pulling?
I could do, yeah, scalp massage and hair pulling. On both, whether you got hair or not, ear pull. And so I've reached in and I've grabbed, I'm not like tugging like the outer part, I'm pulling his whole ear, gently. I'm not trying to yeet his ears off his head. So I've grabbed in like this, ear pull. You can do both at the same time. Feels a little weird. If they got really nasty ears, you can skip it. You can maybe like try and. I'm good. I'm not, and I'm also not going in the inside the ear hole. Just this auricle, if you know that piercing.
I hate it in clinicals where you start and it feels like just sand. Like they've just been collecting sand.
Oh.
It's just like that's the worst feeling. Have y'all had? I've had a couple of clients like that, and I was just like, ugh.
You can just. No, don't do that. You can do that for feet, but I wouldn't do it for ears. You can
That
just
you're
kinda,
cleaning add-on.
Yep. I'll charge you $15 at least. Pain and suffering.
How long would you spend doing that?
I can spend an hour on somebody's neck easy.
Yeah, but like this little part. Like what's like the
This little
minimum
part?
you'd probably...
Minimum of the scalp part and the hair pulling, a couple minutes. You'll know, you'll feel it. And if always check too when you go to pull hair. Like, is that comfortable? Is that okay? Don't pull back here. You're going to pull close to the scalp and you're going to grab. You're not going to just jerk either. But you're going to grab a fair amount, because if you grab like little amounts, very uncomfy. So we want to grab sections. You can always check before too, like how you feel about hair pulling. You know. After working that, I'm going all the way up to where his cranium curves under that occiput bone to meet the neck where the suboccipitals are, right at the top. And I've grabbed and I've squeezed and pulled down. So I'm squeezing in and pulling down. Comfortable? And I'm gonna hold, I can hold up to a minute. Minute. And I'm gonna place my hands directly below that one. Hold. And I'm gonna make my way down his entire posterior neck. And I can come back up. Just kind of depends on your client. Today we're gonna do, you could do at least 2 passes, go for a third if you want to. What we're not gonna do, on the side here, be very mindful. You can push in. These are the transverse processes of his cervical vertebra. If I were to squeeze pretty hard, apply that pressure I was, that would be pretty uncomfortable, right? Bye, have fun.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
Where were they all at? It was so quiet back here.
Hiding around the corner. Did you seal the deal?
I'm sorry?
Did you seal the deal?
I think so. She's going to think about it over the weekend.
Rigby did it. Seal the deal for her.
I'll see you guys.
Bye. Be safe.
Thank you.
So don't compress in on the side where those transverse processes are. It'd be uncomfy. That's where cervical nerves come out. There's arteries that weave their way around there. There's a lot of important stuff. The jugular vein and the carotid artery are definitely situated more lateral and forward. So we're not super concerned about that today. Next week, yes, and forever. Next week and forever we will be. Right now, it's fine. As long as you know to stay at the ear hole back, we're going to be good. And I'm finally all the way down. And these are short grabs. Here for a while.
Are there like alternatives to
Grabbing.
treatments that are just all pincer compression? Or you just kind of like, you have to do that?
Unfortunately, I haven't found any good ones.
Okay.
You can do effleurage. We're going to get to the effleurage part. But because it's the neck, there's a lot of pinching and pulling away because compression is so, we have to be so mindful of compression for the underlying structures. So after you've done like 1 or 2 passes of the single hand, I mean, you could even do 2 hands to do a bilateral. It just kind of depends.
Like would like cups be an alternative someday?
So for cups, it's all suction and release.
Okay.
You can't do any gliding. Gliding would be on the back,
Yeah.
which can be difficult, but if you can make it work, I could probably make it work on him. Probably make it work on you. Be okay. Someone with a lot of hair, it's not going to happen.
Okay.
You can do now unilateral compression. So my fingers are on that ligamentum nuchae, right in the middle. And I have squeezed and just kind of pulled away. I'm going to do the same thing. Grab and hold, go down, come back up. At least 2 passes. You could do 3 if you feel they need it. You would definitely need it. I could, if I have a good enough grab, do a little rotate out and rotate in to get a little bit more tissue. But we don't want to do a whole lot of active release on the neck and head. Down, and the other side, do the same thing. Single grab. It can get a little difficult at the top. And if you're having a hard time doing a single side grab, go back and do the bilateral grab.
And most of your force was your thumb, and like it's just all.
You can do like a little bit of a petrissage type movement too. If pinching hurts. I don't want you guys to hurt yourself today. Do what your body can. You don't need to like break your thumbs just to do this treatment. I think of alternatives. So a little petrissage movement. My fingers are along that ligamentum nuchae. You could do fingers, little finger circles. Because I'm in and pulling down. Try finger circles.
Fingers on. How's that feel?
Good, I'm trying not to fall asleep.
Yeah, try fingers. Are fingers okay for you?
Yep.
I'm experimenting right now. So I've, instead of the grab, I pushed in and pulled. Oh, everybody give it a try. He's like, great. So excited. Ooh, yeah, man, right in there, bud. This is treating traps, and the deeper we go, we're getting a little bit into those posterior cervicals, semispinalis spleni, levator. So I'm down at the angle of the neck, getting a little levator. You will be treating levator today. Go for it. It's part of this routine. You learned it a few weeks ago, but it's part of it. I like fingers. So I'm down at the angle of the neck. If I go straight down towards his feet, that's the attachment of levator. After all that whole everything, easy 20 minutes. Lube up, I'm not gonna do that. You do your basic effleurage that you learned in Swedish. Turn to one side. You could use fingers this time. You can use your thumb. Keep it broad. Don't use fingertips or tip of your thumb. We're using either the whole fingers, the thumb pad. You can use your hands. You're right. You want some butter on?
No, it's fine.
Good. Take it into an effleurage with a stretch. If you're too lubed up for a stretch, grab the sheet. Push. Come back up. Do that a few times, but when you come back up, then you can finger hook onto the suboccipitals. Bring it to center. Anticipating movements. Hold. Come back. Turn to the other side. Effleurage with thumbs, effleurage with fingers. Get to the scalp if you want to. All that fun stuff y'all been doing in Swedish when you were stuck in a 2-hour and somebody's like, I want neck work. You're like, great, let me make some stuff up. Come down, full hand effleurage into a stretch, and you can do this a couple times. I just did it once for demo purposes, but I'm digging the heel of my hand into his traps when I do that. Take it into a stretch. Come back up. Finger hook. When I mean finger hook, I'm like that, but I'm applying pressure with the pads. Going back to center. Just hold for that one side. After you've done that a bunch of times, effleurage each side, I don't know, 10 times or more, till it feels right. Don't do less than like 5 effleurages though. A bad neck massage is the worst, but an amazing neck massage, people will come back to you over and over and over again for that. This whole time we've been talking, I've been compressing on his suboccipitals. So that hold at the end of your Swedish routine, exactly where I colored in red on the back of him, that's where my fingers are compressing. Do little circles. Sometimes when you compress, if you hold it long enough, you'll feel their head just like kind of drop into your hands. Have you guys had that yet? No? Few of you? Doesn't always happen. more efforage, hand pulling rope.